Hi y'all, this is Dina and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not The Good and the Beautiful on its own is enough of a reading program for your child. So stay tuned. So like I said, my name is Dina, and if you're new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mom of 4 kiddos, 5 and under, and I have one on the way. And this video is going to be about teaching your child to read. Now, teaching your child to read is one of those things that could be very intimidating for a brand new homeschooler. I know at least it was for me when we first started. Mostly because I don't remember learning how to read. So I was just thinking, how am I supposed to teach someone to read when I don't even remember learning how to read? I just remember knowing how to read. And I have no teaching background whatsoever, so I didn't know the first clue about teaching somebody to read. And I know it's one of those things that can be very intimidating for a lot of new homeschoolers, and I'm here to tell you it is not that hard. It really isn't. So I hope you take comfort in that, because I needed somebody to tell me that when I first started. So what I did is I started to do my research and started to search for a curriculum that would work for us. And I realized that there are so many reading curriculums out there that it really was only a matter of finding which one was going to work for our family. And I took comfort in that because I knew there was a lot of help out there for me. As a side note, it's monsoon season, so there is a thunderstorm going through here. So you might hear either rain or some thunder. So hopefully that doesn't disrupt the video too much, but I absolutely love it. I love that right in the middle of the day, during the warmest time of the day, during nap time, it cools down and it makes everything just so much more comfortable. Anyway, that was a side note, sorry. So back to reading. Today I'm going to specifically talk to you about the reading program through the Good and the Beautiful. And I don't know if I really want to call it like a reading program. It's not like Hooked on Phonics that is specifically for reading, but it's part of their language arts curriculum. And it starts at the level K primer. So when I was first introduced to the Good and the Beautiful, we started with the primer because my oldest was 4 years old at the time. She had already gone through a Letter of the Week program, and so it was a perfect time to start her on primer. And so I realized pretty quickly that it starts to teach them how to read. And so I didn't expect that, but I was so happy that it did. And like I said before, I had already checked out a whole bunch of reading curriculums. Curriculums? Which one is right? If you know, let me know in the comments down below. So I kind of had already decided on another reading curriculum that was specifically for reading. But since The Good and the Beautiful had kind of already started that process, then I kind of stuck with that until a little bit later on, and I'll get to that in just a second. So we started on the primer, and she absolutely loved it and she thrived on it. And it's a very gentle approach to teaching because, like I said, it's not made just to teach your child to read. It teaches your child so much more than that. And it's very well-rounded. And the way that The Good and the Beautiful teaches is it's so natural, but it is an advanced curriculum. So it definitely teaches a lot, but it teaches it in such a gentle and natural way that you kind of don't feel like you're really learning how to read. You feel like you're just living. I don't know if that makes sense. I do have a review on the Level K primer and the supplement from The Good and the Beautiful, and I'll link it above so that way you can check it out if you want to. But in the primer is where they really start the basics of reading. So they start learning how to blend their letter sounds together. They start learning what's called CVC words. And I don't assume that everybody knows what that is because I didn't when I first started teaching my kid to read. But CVC stands for consonant, vowel, consonant. Words like cat or dog. Starts with a consonant, has a vowel in the middle, and then ends with a consonant. So those are CVC words. So it teaches them that. And then it also teaches them a few sight words. So sight words are typically, not always, but they're typically words that don't follow the normal rules, like the word I, as in I love you. Normally, when your child would see that letter by itself, they would say I, right? So you have to teach them that when the I is by itself, it says its name. So that is a sight word. And also the letter A. The other sight words that it includes is the word the and the word see. Now, when you have those together, then your child can start reading short sentences like I see, or a cat, or I dig, which is the first story in the My First Reader, which comes with the Level K primer. It's just a little book with a lot of neat little stories in it, and it's perfect for where your child is at. It's got very beautiful pictures, very colorful. It keeps your child engaged, but doesn't overwhelm them with too many words. So before I go any further, I do want to say this is completely my opinion, and this is completely from my perspective and my experience on what worked for our family. But not everything works for everybody. So I don't believe in throwing any curriculums under the bus. I don't believe in telling you, no, don't use that, because I don't know what's going to work for you. This specific curriculum that I'm talking about is one of the big ones, and I know families that it has worked for and that their kids have thrived on this curriculum. So I'm not saying not to get it. All I'm giving you is my opinion again. Now, kind of going back to what I said before, where I had already kind of decided on another reading curriculum, I went ahead and bought it because I didn't know if The Good and the Beautiful was enough. I personally really enjoy learning the rules behind why words sound the way they do and why we spell words certain ways. And sometimes I felt like The Good and the Beautiful didn't put enough emphasis on that. And I was new to all of this. I didn't know if it needed to have an emphasis or if I could just teach my child that on my own or what I needed to do. So my oldest, we went through the primer, and then we went into the Level K, the second edition, the older version of the Level K, and she thrived on that also, and she kept learning and learning and learning. But like so many of us do, I still just wondered about this other curriculum that I had on my shelf for almost a year before I pulled it out, because I just wanted to know how it would work, because it did work for so many families. So when I finally did pull it out, I realized my oldest was already past that level. So what I had decided was to start it with my boy, Solomon. He had gone through the Letter of the Week program. He went through the pre-K program from The Good and the Beautiful, and he had gone through the primer, and he was thriving on it. He was doing really well. So then I heard that The Good and the Beautiful was coming out with a new version of the Level K, but we needed to wait for it. So what I decided to do was start him on this other curriculum because I wanted his reading to progress and not to kind of come to a standstill as we were waiting for this new edition. So I started him on this curriculum that had been sitting on my shelf for about a year, for almost a year. And at first, I thought this was going to be good. I was super excited to start it. I got it all prepped and ready to go. And on the very first day, I could tell that I just didn't know if he was really going to enjoy this. There were certain manipulatives that he did enjoy. He loves letters, any type of letters, so he enjoyed kind of working with those. They had flashcards, so I did do like some sort of manipulatives with those to get him interested in the flashcards. And he started reading their reader fairly quickly, but I could tell about the second time that we came back to the reader that he was getting a little bit overwhelmed. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if maybe the reader had too many words, or if it wasn't colorful enough, or I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened, but it was too overwhelming for him, and I found myself dreading our reading lesson, and then he was starting to dread the reading lesson, and I didn't want that to happen. So after praying about it and talking to my husband about it and just trying to figure out, okay, what do I do, because we still have a few weeks before this new edition comes out. So what I decided to do was get the Level K Primer supplement. It doesn't teach any additional reading, but it does reinforce things that were taught in the primer. So we got that. And then I also had the beginning book set, box A, from The Good and the Beautiful. And so I started my son on it, and he just loved it. Like the very first time I had him read one of the readers, he said, "Mama, I love these books. The other book is just too old for me. Maybe when I get older." And so then I realized, okay, that's what it was. It was too much for him. He just couldn't take it. And it's funny to even say that because, like I said, The Good and the Beautiful is an advanced curriculum. So I don't know what was overwhelming to him, but something to him was overwhelming with the other curriculum. So that's when I knew, I was like, praise the Lord, we found something that'll work, and we are still doing that. He finished the supplement. We are still reading the readers, and we're about to really dive into the new level K, and I am super excited, and he still loves the readers. I think it's maybe like the 4th time that we've read through the whole box set, and he still enjoys it so much. I was super bummed out, you guys, that the other one didn't work for us, because I was excited about it and it had worked for so many different people. I was really bummed out, and thankfully I realized it early enough that I was able to return it so I could get my $100 and some back. So I just praise God for that it's not just something that's kind of sitting around our house. Somebody else will be able to use it. So if you're looking for a curriculum that is easy to use, easy on you as far as prep goes, is open and go, is advanced, but yet teaches your child in an easy, natural, gentle sort of way, then I would definitely suggest The Good and the Beautiful. And like I said, at this price point, you can't really beat it. I hope you liked this video, you guys. I hope it was an encouragement, especially to you brand new homeschoolers that are just a little bit scared about teaching your child to read. Please know that it's not that hard, especially if you have a curriculum that is open and go and that will just kind of show you and guide you on how to do it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, let me know if you're in the same boat I was and just intimidated and don't know how you're going to teach your child to read. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so that way you get notified whenever new videos pop up. Let me know what you'd like to see, because I'm always looking for new video ideas, because I really just want to help you guys out. So I want to know what questions you guys have. The rest of this video is going to be a little bit of my daughter reading, because one of my subscribers, shout out to Lana, hi, requested a video of one of my kids reading an entire book. So if that's something that you'd like to see, you are more than welcome to. But if you'd like to go check out some of my other videos, you are more than welcome to do that too. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
George was a good little monkey, but sometimes he broke the house rules. Painting on the walls was against the rule. So was sputtering corn with your feet. That's gross.
It's gross.
The animals outside didn't have to worry about house rules. That made it seem like a great place for a monkey. The tree was nice. Wait, tree, until it started raining. Poor George.
Poor George.
If he had at the house. George couldn't live in a tree and say dry use. He had unless
Okay.
he had a tree house. Then he could make his own house rules. Look, this is Rankins, guys. This is Rankins. George wanted to see how other houses were made. Mrs. Rankins was building a chicken coop. Maybe she could help. Look.
Yeah, what are those?
The attractions.
Yeah, blueprints, right?
Right. George looked at some drawings.
Close?
Drawings.
Good.
Mrs. Lincoln said, "Those are my plans." George explained, "Of course." George needed a plan too. He drew a plan for his treehouse. Mrs. Lincoln liked George drawing. "If you want to try building, take all the wood you need," she said. On the way home, George passed Mr. Quilt fixing the dock. "Hi, George," he said. "That's a lot of wood. You must be building something." Mr. Quilt offered George some nails. "Take anything you need." highball.
Neighbor.
Neighbor. Armored with his handy. What does this say?
Armed.
Armed with his handy monkey tool.
Yeah.
Said George was ready to build. This would be his treehouse, and he would
Good.
make all the rules. George chose a piece of wood. Look, he's standing on that.
Chose.
Chose
Yeah, chose a piece of wood.
to balance on.
Oh, you skipped a line. He chose
For-
what? He chose what? So he chose a piece of wood. Right there, yeah.
For the floor of the treehouse. He tried to balance it on his favorite branch, but it didn't stay up. Building was not easy. How could he keep his floor from tipping over?
Yeah.
Maybe he needed to balance his floor on 2 branches sets.
Close.
What does it say?
Success.
Success. Now it was time to put the walls. George remembered how Mr. Quit used the tools on the dock. It was even faster when you could use your feet. See? It's faster.
Yep.
After lots of hard work, there was only one wall left to build, but George was out of nails, and the only piece of wood left was too big. Then he chopped at the dock for nails. George's treehouse was finally done. Well, said the man with the yellow hat, you built your own house. Where did you get all the wood and nails and just then the neighbors
Good. Yep, you remember that one. Neighbors.
showed up. George, did you take my wall? Asked Mrs. Ringans. Mr. Quit asked, did you take nails from my dock? Helpful plans. They didn't want George to lose his tree. It's okay. I did say you could have whatever nails you wanted, Mr. Quit said. And I can make a new wall, Miss Ringgan said. Now George had a place where he made the rules. Rule 1. You have to paint on the walls. And rule 2. Always butter corn with your feet.
That's good. So when you're in somebody's house, you what?
You obey the rules.
You obey the rules. Good job reading. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.